So the only reason that these two problems are separate are because these are the two kinds of logs that do not have a base. The process is exactly the same as Friday, so it's kind of a review of Friday's notes. We're just going to work through these ones together so that way you know what to do when you come across one like this. Okay, so what was the first step we did with graphing? Get x by itself. So again, I said it was easiest if you moved the equals y to this side. I don't know why, that just tends to make it easier for people. And then what would be my first step to get x by itself? Add 2. So log x plus 7 equals y plus 2. Is my log alone?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can go to exponential form. What's the base? 10. What's the exponent? Equals? And now what? Subtract 7. So 10 to the y plus 2 minus 7 equals x. That's the equation I'm going to be plugging stuff into. Yeah? Okay. What is h in this problem? -7. What is k? Which one is my asymptote? H is my asymptote. So -7 all the way back there is my asymptote. And what does k tell me? What goes in the middle of my xy chart on the y values? Yeah, -2. So then I fill in my values around, -3 and -4 on one side, -1 and 0. So far so good. And now we start plugging stuff in. So 10 to the parentheses. Again, make sure you put parentheses around your exponent when you're typing it in. -4 plus 2, close those parentheses and then put the -7. I get -6.99. Now change the -4 to a -3. -6.9. -2. -1. And 0. 93. Holy cow, that's a big number. Why did it go from 3 to 93 so fast? Because the base is 10, and think about powers of 10. 10 to the first is 10, but 10 to the second is already up to 100. So it doesn't take very much of a change in the exponent to make that result a lot bigger. Okay? Obviously, I'm not going to be able to graph 93, 0. I just need to aim that way. So -6.99 and there, -6, -2, 3, -1, and then 93, 0 means I'm not going to be crossing the x-axis for a long time, right? Because it's not going to intersect the x-axis until x is 93. So I just need to draw my graph in and just aim that direction. And that's what my graph looks like. Okay. Now what kind of transformation did we have going on here? Well, I had an h value of -7, so that's a shift, what direction? Left 7. And I have a k value of -2, so that's a shift down 2. And there was nothing in front of the log to begin with, so there was no a change at all, no vertical stretch, compression, reflection, any of that stuff. What's my asymptote? X equals -7. What's my domain? X is greater than -7, and my range? All real numbers. Piece of cake? All right, let's look at the natural log one. Again, the process is exactly the same. What do we need to remember with a natural log? The base is e, and when we're dealing with e, that typically means that when we're filling out our x values here, we're not going to get any nice numbers because e is an ugly number. It's just going to give us decimals the whole time. But we can still deal with it because we're just going to our calculator. So, excuse me, step 1 is what? Get x by itself. So I'm going to put the equals y over here. Now what? Subtract 4. So natural log of x minus 1 equals y minus 4. Now what? Exponential form. What's my base? To the what power? Y minus 4 equals x minus 1. Now what? So e to the y minus 4 plus 1 equals x, and that's my equation I'm going to plug stuff into. What is my h value? Positive 1. What is my k value? Positive 4. Which one is my asymptote? H. Okay. All right. K goes in the middle. And why don't you take a minute to finish off that graph? I got one nice number. Why did I get one nice number? Because that's the time when the exponent is 0, means that e turns into 1. It's the only time it's nice. Something like that. 3.75 and 8.46. It's going to be right around there. I don't usually like things plotted off the graph, but if it's less than 1 off the graph, you can go ahead and do it. What was my transformation here, just to reiterate? Shift right 1, shift up 4, and with no a value, you would pick that out at the beginning. There's no vertical stretch, reflection, compression. What's my asymptote? X equals 1, domain. X is greater than 1, and my range? All real numbers. We good? All right. Happy studying.